Misbehaving. Way over here, we already had crocuses and they've gone, but there's another new one came up today, and there's another fresh one came up today, and there's more coming. I've just filled this up with Crocuses. There's a big patch, probably about a meter in a big circle there. And there are going to be a bright red flower. There's potentilla, there's a new raspberry, and there's the old raspberries. They're budding out really well. Look at these guys. Look at that beautiful leaf. Very nice. This has just been dug and watered. Here's my elephant garlic coming up for the third season. They're all about 7-8 inches. They're growing about half an inch a day already. And that's from 3 heads I bought 3 years ago. Organic elephant garlic. This is these are some freshly planted from grown indoors black-eyed Susans. The rest is wildflowers coming up from last year. Those are a couple of flowers I grew indoors. This one and just planted out a couple days ago. Over here, freshly dug to plant.
I saw your garlic.
That's got garlic over here. I think that might be a daffodil coming up. I'm not sure. I bought those 2 geraniums and I planted a couple things over there. There's a little creeper plant that came up from last year here. This guy, right there. It's a creeper that has little white flowers, and that's coming back from last year. So there's a perennial that worked. I just planted this section up with arugula yesterday. That's to keep squirrels and birds off. This is probably going to be dill, and this will probably be more arugula. My chives came back for the 4th year in bulk, and there's a little baby chives coming up here. There must have been a flower that dropped. What else is there? I just finished digging this up. These are perennials that are coming back. The girl that started with an M, Marjorie or Marilyn or something, gave me that one. And this one. And this is a ground cover that she gave me as well, and it's already spreading a little bit. And this has all happened in the last 10 days. 12 days ago we had 6 inches of snow ground cover, the whole thing. Blueberries, they're not doing that well. They're little twiggy things in here. Here's what they look like. You can see they're red stems, but they haven't done that well here. These are 2 years old. Raspberries, 1 strawberry in there. This, I haven't done anything. I planted beans here, but my friend planted them. I think they're in too deep. I don't see any coming up. I planted another row here, and there's one coming up, but I left the hose on, and a bunch of them actually got unearthed. I may have to just do this over. I wanted to plant these big white beans. They're called elephant beans, there's their label. But they grow like 8-9 feet tall with little white flowers. Up here, nothing yet here. This is more of that lady's perennials. This is a daylily coming back. This is something that grows about this, maybe 2 feet tall, and has purple flowers, but I don't remember the name again. This is oregano coming back from last year right here. It was actually green underneath the snow. 2 more perennials. This one's a coneflower I purchased, and it's coming back, by the look of it, a lot bigger than it was when I bought it. This is another daylily that lady gave me. It's doing better here because the difference is right here versus right there. That's probably about a 3-hour extra sun over here, because the shadow of that corner of the building cuts across here. Probably about here actually. So this guy gets that shadow for 3 or 4 hours while this is still getting sun. I've planted peas here. I planted beets And little onions that I grew indoors. You can see these little, see the little green thing? Those are onions that were grown in a pot, which I'll show in a moment. The raspberry or strawberries are coming really good here. And here, I planted broccoli in here last year and it actually hit the top. It's like over 2 feet and it hit the top, so I have to plant the broccoli in a bigger space this year. Some of those little things, I think those are actually different marigolds in that bed there. This is all full of different beets. I started them indoors for a head start, but they have to be bigger before I can transplant them, so I'm waiting a little bit longer. These are some of the tomatoes I'm going to be planting today. We got flowers on this one already, look at that. 4 of these are sun golds, which grow a cherry yellow, a golden cherry. And here's the hole. This is where I'm going to be putting the next one in. This is another one that I just planted, a sun gold. And this is called Vinorandry. It's a Ukrainian cherry, and there's your cherry tomato already. It already has fruit, and so does this guy. So I'll be putting the root in here, way down deep, and the stem will go up there and it'll come up here. So most of that plant will be underground. Like this here was the same size as the ones I just showed you over there. This is starting to sprout. These are all the garlic bulbils. I put those over because the squirrels have been digging holes again. But I'm going to have to maybe make a screen or something. But you can see at this end of the bed, they're already sprouting and coming up because that shadow of that thing shades this end of the bed for about 3 hours in the morning when this can get sun. So this end is growing quick and that end hasn't started hardly. There's a couple of little sprouts, but they've just barely started. Haven't planted that yet. This is the greenhouse I constructed. It was an old rabbit cage. I wrapped it in plastic and put hinges on that back corner. And there's the first set of tomatoes in. I actually bought a corn just for a lark. Corn probably won't make it here. There's one pot of onions ready to go. And this is some kales and chards started indoors. And that's some sage. More tomatoes already planted. And this keeps them warm overnight in case they get a frosty night. Last frost date is May 23rd, so technically I could still have one. But right now the 10-day forecast only shows it +2 is the lowest on next Saturday. And I'm planting, this might be the bed where I fill up the broccoli. You got little bits of thyme coming back right here. And another one here. This is thyme. That's a perennial, I guess, now. The oregano's are perennial. And that's about it for now. This is the new bed I just built. And I'll probably put corners in. Oh, Dean wanted to see the construction. I'm tripping over all the cages now. This is what I ended up building. I put the corners in like this. You see? And I've now got that pretty well sealed. So I can just put a cover over and have a hothouse, right? If you see how that works, there could be like a hothouse if I just put a cover across and down. Or I can again, I'll have at the top, I can make an angled top and put just a mesh across to keep hail off. Or I can actually enclose the whole thing in a bubble if I want to make like a big green hothouse even through the summer. So now that's ready for expansion if I want, but for now I'm just going to get the tomatoes in. And because the weather doesn't show any freezing days, I might not bother to cover it. That's it. I think that's about all for today. Catch you guys.